I don't always have the mic plugged in when I'm not talking to you. The power for the mic comes on when I put it in the USB, but then it'll go off, and my computer's like, I don't know. Nothing in the USB.
There's nothing
as far
there.
As I can tell. Like, hey, what do you mean? What? Try the other USB. And it's like, if power comes on, then goes right back off.
How is it, this crap computer from 2017?
Well, yeah, this $300 computer, but
Mine was $600, so.
Oh, but you didn't even get as good a processor as me. But I guess your USBs do work.
No one likes a bragger, Kalyn.
Yeah. You're bragging that your USBs work all the time, so.
Yeah. I don't remember bragging about that. I call you up at night and troll you like, hey, I just want you to know my USB ports all work right now. They're all working.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
I don't even have to think about USB ports. Don't worry about USB ports no more.
I guess it was a dream I had about you then. I swear I woke up and I was like, man, Robert's such a jerk. Like, my USB ports work.
Chiara is living her best life right now. Have you gotten updates from them?
I have, yeah. I was trying to make Chiara jealous yesterday because I was like, you'll never guess what I'm up to tonight. You're going to be so jealous.
Yo-yo ma.
No.
No? Oh, darn.
No. The Kiffness, the guy that has the cat sounds, and then he
oh
makes
my
songs.
God, yes.
Yeah, I went to his concert.
Hell yeah, you did. We'll talk about Chiara in a minute.
So,
Tell us the story, top to bottom of the Kiffness concert.
Yeah. So I texted Chiara, I was like, guess what I'm up to tonight? You're going to be so jealous. She's like, battle bots? And I'm like, what?
Go to hell, Chiara.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. She was like, are you going to do a drag show or something? I'm like,
just because we're not all children of privilege, Chiara, doesn't mean you should go picking on us, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, BattleBots. You watching BattleBot reruns, Kalyn? Huh? Living your sad life on the couch in front of the TV watching BattleBot reruns?
No, instead I'm going to a concert of a dude who makes videos based on the sounds of his neighbor's cats by myself. But we talked months ago when I first kind of introduced her to this guy. Spotify had the dates of their upcoming shows. So I'd seen that he was coming to town, and also he was in Boston in May or something, right? And so we talked ages ago about maybe I'll fly up there. We could take Yakumo to this concert. Didn't happen.
So Kiffness is busy. He's on a U.S. tour.
And he is cleaning up. I have honestly, I've never seen a merch booth that was as active.
Wow. What kind of merch does Kiffness sell? T-shirts with cat pictures on them, obviously.
Yes, indeed, of course. One of his early cat songs called I Say Meow, and I've considered it. But
for 40 bucks.
But yeah, $35 for a t-shirt. After, if you had bought the tickets in advance, I think they'd be $20 plus fees, whatever, each. But I delayed, and I almost didn't go because of this. It was like $45 to go see him, which is kind of rich.
Sure.
To go to a concert. To go to a concert by myself.
Of a dude. And, playing cat sounds.
Yeah. So I've never been to a more family-friendly show.
You weren't lying.
There were lots of children running around. And one of his first things he says, he's like, I love seeing so many people of different ages. He's like, this may be your first concert. And he's like, and some of you, it's probably your last concert.
Right.
Anyways, he was super fun. He's everything I would hope that he would be in more. He put out a poll before the show on, do you want to hear this song or not want to hear this song? And it's, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating pets. Whatever. He started his musical career doing political satire and then struck gold when he started doing the cat stuff. And he was like, this was me testing the waters to get back in. He's South African, so he was like, I don't know how Americans are going to feel about me making fun of this whole thing. And he was and in Texas, you never know. pretty well.
But it was an overwhelming upvote, wasn't it?
Oh, so
people were dying to hear that song.
He's like, so let's see how the vote went. It was 94% said yes, and 6% said no
Yeah.
to hearing that song. He's like, sorry to the 6% of you, but anyway, like
Majority rules.
Yeah, it was a super fun concert. I did end up buying some merch. I bought a pack of stickers. That was $15.
Yeah. No, stickers are always the way to go. Well, first of all, like if you're a musician, you want stickers all over your instrument cases. And then, yeah, you can walk up to the merch table and buy some memorabilia from your favorite artist. And it's like only a couple bucks instead of.
Right. Yeah, it's by far the cheapest thing there. Though I've never seen merch booths honestly charge sales tax. So I was surprised. They're like, total's actually like $16.38 or whatever. Fucking bake that in. I hate that kind of thing. But
and then they're like, what, would you like to add a tip?
Yes, they did have a tip line. She was like, you don't have to. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. I stood in line and they're right here. I picked them up myself. You just typed in 15 and then turned around the like little payer thing. So
yeah,
I'm not going to tip you.
What am I tipping you to do? Keep the table well stocked.
Right. But,
so what kind of venue does Kiffness pull down? Is this, we're talking about a House of Blues, like 500 seats?
Something like that, yeah. It was all standing room, so everybody sang along the whole time and like danced. I didn't even know all the songs, you know. Yeah, like everybody's like meow 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 meow. Like seriously, it was super fun. But yeah, when I told Chiara that today was the day, she was like, oh my gosh. And she's like, send me a picture of her hat that she has signed. And I was like, oh, I forgot you're in Montreal. Man, she got such the hookup.
Oh my God. It's gone on and on.
Yeah. It was already like a super awesome thing going to a Formula One race when you're 16. Like, international. I had never been international. Not that Montreal really like counts.
Well, she has places that count way more than that. Yeah.
Right.
So she's gotten that too.
To get like the most VIP deluxe, basically, when she said she'd gone on a ride around the track, nobody gets to do that. I mean, I don't.
And you're probably out of date unless you've texted her in the past 30 minutes. She spent after lap 30 of 100 or something. From that point on, she got to stand behind the pit crew at the Haas racing. Jesus. So she's like in the paddocks.
Man.
It's just out of control.
The power of networking, I hope, is fully washed over that girl.
I keep reinforcing that point. And I'm like, well, if you're at Haas, get a job. Tired of people, get yourself a job.
Yeah.
A summer internship, something.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to live up to.
I know. Yeah. She's not only spoiled for all future races, she's spoiled for all future events.
Yeah.
She'll be like mid-court at a NBA Finals game and be like, well, this is all right.
We're not on the bench.
Exactly. She's like, Spike Lee's not here, so this isn't so great. But
yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. She's like, yeah, we got box seats, but not good if you don't get to meet the team. Like, you know, like she's already met everybody. This is next level.
It really is incredible. Yeah, I think they've.
So I guess you sent me some sort of tickets or something this morning by accident. Yes,
yep,
right?
That was today's tickets. Yeah, I'm in the middle of band rehearsal this morning, and I'm like literally singing a song, and I'm getting phone calls from them, and I'm like, guys, I'm rehearsing, and they're like, we know, but you have the tickets, you gotta send them. Because initially I was supposed to go.
I'm gonna send them over to Kalyn.
I'll send them to Kalyn. Let her figure it out. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I sent it to everybody. I sent them to Janice. I sent when you're like, is this for me? I was like, fuck. I'm like literally singing, you know, and typing this in, and the phone's sideways, and I'm like. Anyway, she's on my phone as Kiki. So Kiki and Kalyn are like right next to each other. And right next to Janice, JK. They're all right there.
Oh, you did send him to Janice for real?
Yeah. Well, Andrea was on there too. And I was like, ah.
You're like, send all. Just to all
I want
contacts.
The whole world to be able to. Anybody in Montreal can get into this.
If you're in my phone, event. You're in.
And I have 1,500 content. I have some stupid
I have a crazy number too. I have a whole fun section from online dating. I would save dudes' numbers even if it didn't work out, but I would just put like XX dash whatever their name was. So I've got this like really long section
of X's.
They're not even X's. They're like, I don't even know, like XX Maurice Gavin, and I'm like, I don't even remember ever going out with somebody with that name. Like, they're just completely lost in the ether, but by God, I've got their number. Like,
yeah. Well, if they call or text you, you'll know not to answer. I have 3,370 contacts in my phone. And yeah, do you see how like they're all the same name over and over again? At one of these points, I got connected with the Sweet Kittles list. And like every family got loaded on my phone multiple times. And I'm just nervous if I delete them here, are they going to disappear from somewhere else that's important? And at some point, I'll stop worrying about that.
Cares?
But
like, yeah.
that's their problem.
Not your company anymore.
There will be a day when that's my attitude.
Amazingly, I only have 938 contacts. Which,
I have so many things like Dropbox folders, calendars, stuff where I'm like, am I just deleting this off my phone or am I deleting this from the universe? And I'm nervous about it. Now, Andrea would just delete it and just live with the consequences. Yeah. Which is why she's running around going like, hey, do you have this file? Like, God damn, woman. So that was the count of your emails right now? Or that was contacts? No, that's
the number of contacts.
Oh, okay, all right.
Contacts
How many unread emails do you have right now? How many are in the red dot next to you?
Like, generally, I try to keep that at 0. But right now, I have 8. It's hard for me to keep it at 0 because of junk subscriptions that go to Gmail. But I've been going through and actually, like, unsubscribing. Yeah.
I have 2,427 unread emails. So the vast majority are spammy types.
Yeah.
But many are also emails from the kids' schools or something.
Right. I would have guessed you'd be like 0 email.
Well, I was, but you got to stay on top of that. You know, once you let the dam burst,
with the spam on Gmail, it got so out of control. I was getting like probably 250 to 300 emails a day. Yeah. Like, so just to like flush that out, like
just to hit the spam button
or just to hit delete, like even if you're like select all, like I still have to go through several strings of that or whatever. like you know. Yeah. But like then there are things that I do care about. Ages ago I subscribed and I did enjoy reading every day my word of the day.
Right.
But do I really need it? Also, I was a weirdo about like if it wasn't spam, then it was going to be put in a folder after I read it. So I have a folder that's basically just a dictionary.
Every word of the day for the past 5,000 days, yeah.
Which some word of the days are not that great. They're like, today's word of the day is...
Sent.
Yeah, exactly. Or it'd be something that's so obscure that I'm like, is that really a word? You know,
Argle-luggle.
This is Welsh, but it's been in an English text once, and I'm like, good. Thank God I know that
It's going to stay that way if I have anything to do with it. I won't be adding it to my English text anytime soon.
Welsh is also a crazy-ass language.
Yeah, you got a lot of consonants in a row after each other. Yeah,
my favorite band has the world record for longest, it's an EP, but so I can't remember if it's album or whatever. I'll pull it up. It's really fun to see. Here it is. This is one word, this line here. It means in space.
It just means in space.
Yes.
But they don't have a word for that in Welsh, so it's like up in the atmosphere beyond the... It's
From here to here are like, there's not a single vowel in that. That's like 20 characters.
Well, weirdly, that we're talking about Welsh stuff has come up a lot in my life. Some of that, what did you call it? Syncope? No.
Synchronicity, though, or something like
Synchronicity. So for reasons unknown, I'm researching Valhalla and the Valkyries.
Oh, yeah.
And it's talking about all the references in Norse poems and all that to the Valkyries. So anyway, it turns out Valkyrie, there's also a Welsh word Valkyrie that's of course was spelled with a bunch of G's and stuff, but it's the same basic word and they don't know why this word appeared and it's referring to the same thing. So they're like, is it from Vikings coming over, but it predates the Viking attacks? So did it somehow, there are words of course that have arisen spontaneously in more than one culture, but kind of weird.
Right.
So that's one Wales reference from the past 24 hours. The other one I ran into, I've been reading the book about Henry V that I got for Father's Day. It turns out that the word prince, right? Prince means princep, right? It's basically the same word as principal. It means the number one guy, right? Why are princes today? They're subordinate to kings, right?
What?
The king's the dad, and the prince and princesses are the children, generally in Western culture. Right. It came from when the King of England, they defeated Wales, and they took the title Prince of Wales, and they gave it to the firstborn son. So what's probably the most famous prince in the world, the Prince of Wales, is actually like the first one that was actually called Prince, and it wasn't the head role.
Actually, Charles, when he was young, he like went to Wales, and like relations are not always great with Wales because Welsh people feel very repressed and like secondary citizens. I only know from watching The Crown. He studied there for a while. He learned Welsh.
We're taxing my knowledge of Wales as we go.
Yeah. Let's get this going.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Robert and Kimmel talk about Wales. It's a crush. This one, the market demand, this is an unmet need in the market. Is.
If you guys didn't know, and you wanted some Welsh trivia, that's what we've got going for the next 2 hours.
Yeah, we're going to talk about things we barely know about.
So he like changed his speech he gave in Wales in Welsh from what the family had wanted him to say to acknowledge that the first Prince of Wales was the stolen title. Anyway.
I also know it's not a hereditary title, so the son does not necessarily get it. And Charles, there was talk that he would not name Harry Prince of Wales, but he did. And there was
Harry? No,
well, I forget
William.
Which one's which. William.
Harry's the one that like lives in L.A.
and running around with Meghan Markle and Harry and Meghan.
Yeah. Like, it's total second-born syndrome with that one. He's just like, we're totally second-class citizens. It's like, no, I'm so sorry. Like, God, it must really suck.
They were asking questions, how dark the baby would be. Oh, yeah. Like, the oldest, crustiest people, whitest people in the world are asking. Yes.
This is the first person ever who's been in the royal family of color.
And barely of color. Have you seen this color?
Yeah,
it's like, especially after the nose job, you're like, that's really?
Right, I know. Like,
what is she, a 10th?
Apparently half of her mom was at the wedding. She's black.
And people were like, would you get me a drink?
Everyone's like, oh my God, I wonder how awkward she feels. I'm like, well...
Welcome to black people's lives the world over, outside of Africa.
Yeah, and also, like, I think that if I had married Harry, the family would be like, are we doing the right thing right now? There's all kinds of rules. We're not British.
Oh, my God. Our family. Mom, like,
I
waddling.
Know, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mom, you're going to be meeting the queen now. Like, I don't know.
And they shuffle in, and they're wearing...
like their holiday sweaters or something.
Yeah, they're ugly Christmas sweaters, and, like, pants they bought at fucking...
At, like, Foley's 25 years ago.
Yeah, like, Mom, you think maybe if you were going to buy a new dress once in your life, you think it might be to see... the King of England and his kid.
Right. Yeah. Guess what? Your daughter's royal now.
Yeah. And she does dress like a queen compared to Dad. So, they'd be like, who let this hobo in the wedding? Dad, you cannot wear your running hat in St. Christopher's Cathedral.
Like those pants that you joked about, like you just have to stand up and clench your butt cheeks and they'll fall to the floor and they have holes in them. Stop wearing them, please.
You're so right, though. I love that. They bought them at Foley's 22 years ago. Yes, still wearing them.
Seriously. Their closet is fucking packed to the gills. I don't... you remember I was maybe in junior high? Grandma and Grandpa Kimmel before Christmas sent me a button-down denim shirt with embroidered Disney characters on it. And I was like, okay, first of all, the fuck. There's not a time in my life that I would have wanted this. And it like was so big that Dad could wear it. He still wears that shirt.
I know.
Today.
I know. Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, this was a gift to me. Like,
the height of fashion.
Like 30 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Maybe not that.
They were terrible gift givers, our grandparents. They just really were. Awful lot of stuff. A lot of reused, like re-gifted.
And it's like, man, you guys have money too. Here's $10. And
Yeah.
be glad you got
But you-
that and not some shit you totally don't want. And it's like, great, now I just have like some, it's like that, like
There's
that
a
Mitch
watch
Hedberg-
and it comes in a box with cotton, and you're like, I know this
Yeah.
isn't the box. This thing comes
Right.
from the factory, and
Yeah, and it's not like a cool antique or something that has some excuse for not having its original box. It's like, no, this is a Seiko from found it on the ground from whatever.
right. This is what they sell up at the Bridge Club in the resale shop, and
right,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
Thought of you, and you're like,
Thanks. Yeah.
there's some
and-
story where Grandpa had eye surgery. He had got his cataracts taken out or something. So they go to the casino. Well, he can't gamble. He can't see. So what does he do? He sits out in the car for a couple hours while Louise goes in and gambles. Like,
I mean, those two were crazy in love with each other.
yeah.
The point when Drew and Pat stepped in, we need care because, like,
Yeah.
Grandpa couldn't really take care of her properly, but she was like, I am not going to a home ever. And I understand why she felt that way, but lady, this is not a great situation for anyone.
You're going to set the house on fire, you two.
Like,
it's going to be an electrical short or something because you stuck the plug in a watermelon. And
Grandma would forget she was smoking and then just like, drop her hand and the cigarette is in the couch burning. Good thing it's saturated with pee, otherwise the house would burn down.
yeah,
But I don't
the
know.
smell of burning urine alerted the neighbors to call the fire department.
Grandpa was fairly with it, but he's like, yep, whatever Louise wants, that's what we're doing.
He's
like,
sort of with it, but he wasn't making good judgments. So
well, right. These retirement centers now, or assisted living.
Yeah, they have different levels.
Like, I'm like, why don't they have this for young people? It seems so fun. It's like, we have this club that's going to meet, and there's all these activities. You can meet other people your age, and whatever. This sounds kind of cool. Can I come and live in one of these places?
I know, right? It's probably how the wealthy
Yeah.
live.
Yeah, they're so expensive.
Anytime you're doing labor substitution where you got to pay another person enough to make a living.
Yeah. It was crazy, though, if you want them to distribute, like, pills in the morning, one time a day, give you your dose. That was like an extra $600 a month or something.
Yeah.
Like, that was the full
$20
extent
a
of what
day.
they did. No medical stuff besides making sure that you got one pill a day. If it was twice a day, then it was like an extra $1,000. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like,
And all these folks have multiple pills a day that they have to take.
right. Claire's single too, and she was like, man, who's gonna take care of us? And I'm like, fucking, I've already had the talk with Chiara, but sadly she's strapped with me, you know? But also I'm like, man, put me out to pasture. I don't know that I need to be sticking around with. I'm like, I don't know if I took my pill today or not.
Well, yeah, the generations keep getting smaller and smaller, fewer and fewer.
Yeah.
And now we won't let these migrants come in anymore either. So
I know, right? Yeah.
there was something like when they started Social Security, there was 42 working people for each person on Social Security. Now there's like 2.4, and we're trending towards less than 1.
Right. Since I started working, I was told, expect that you will not get Social Security. You're paying into it, but you're not going to get it. Like,
Right. Now we're getting closer to receiving it than we are to starting to pay into it.
Well,
but
I'm not paying into it right now.
that'll teach him. Me neither.
Take that.
I'm not real clear when I did and did not pay into it.
Anytime you had employment.
Yeah,
like,
but I'm a
creation is
business
right.
owner. It's like, okay, do I have employment? Or I'm pretty sure I haven't paid it into Social Security for
Yeah.
10 years, maybe 5. They send these estimates of benefits and stuff, and I'm not clear if have I earned this, and it's your best 10 years or something, and my best 10 years are pretty good.
Right.
U.S. government's going to be giving me a lot of money if this all comes to pass.
Yeah, mom's getting a decent check, and her best year, I can't imagine it was when we were in Tulsa, but even when she was the executive director of that charity, like, you make nothing in charity. I guess dad can't get it, or maybe he does get it even though he's working. Can't remember how that works.
For sure, his checks are going to be 4, 5, 6 grand. Honest to
Right.
God, we're paying a lot of people like $40, $50, $60,000 a year to not work.
Yeah.
It does
Like-
cap out somewhere, but
Right.
nevertheless.
Yeah, January. Stopped by this morning after being on call, working 2 12-hour shifts. She's like, I don't have a day off until, I don't know if it's in August or if it's after August, because she's taking out all these extra shifts. I'm like, how is your brain still working? Like,
Eventually, she's going to hit a wall.
yeah, she's giving up to having children.
Well, tell
I
her
don't
it's not
know.
that great.
Right. I know. There's also a messy situation with the embryos because they're with her ex. He's like, you can't have them. And I'm like, let's make a death certificate. I'll fucking forge some shit. Fucking. Like, he lives in another country. Who cares? But she can't take in the new guy because the people there have already met, doesn't show very good, like, stability. And I'm like, man, They're already charging you an arm, and I don't know why they get to say, like, what
You're
your
a
lifestyle.
surgeon. How much stability do you need, for God's sakes?
And why do they get to make a moral decision about whether you're stable enough? This is a service.
There's a bunch of homeless people making babies right now,
Right.
to stable her. They got
This
more
isn't-
babies than anybody, the poor people.
Right, we're not placing a child that's up for adoption either. We're, okay, we need to make sure that this is a good home. Nope. This
Which
is
it
her-
also would be a good home for that too, by the way.
right.
Reference, this is a surgeon we're talking about.
P.S. for guys also an anesthesiologist.
It's not just about money in life, but come on. Again, it's not the embryo people's...
Yeah, it's not a fucking business. They're charging a huge amount of money to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's my decision.
To keep some
And then
liquid
be like,
nitrogen cold, they're charging like astronomical rates.
Well, so it's like, fuck you guys. If I make a bunch of embryos, I just want to like line them up and set them on fire. That's my prerogative.
Kalyn not
Anyways.
going to win any awards from the pro-life community here today. I'm afraid.
Certainly, or any other day. I'm pro-abortion, not even pro-choice. Just get rid of them. We don't need more.
Yeah, if you believe that life begins at conception, then you must
Oh,
think.
God.
Then the biggest health issue in the world is dying in utero.
Yeah.
I heard a wonderful Ezra Klein episode where they went through a number of thought exercises. For example, you're at the hospital and it's on fire, right? There's a baby in the baby ward. You have time to
Right.
rescue the one baby or some number of embryos. How many embryos does it take for you to
Right.
not rescue the baby and go rescue the
mean-
embryos? My answer is like infinity, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like-
They're nothing. They're like.
But if it's any number greater
Right.
than one, then obviously there's a different level of value at.
Right. That's like a super interesting way to think about it, for sure. This is like from back when Facebook first started, but people would be like, okay, imagine a scenario. You're a single mom who has this disease and you blah, blah, blah. This child's going to be born deaf. Would you abort? Oh, you just killed Beethoven. I'm like, yeah, well, most of these aborted babies weren't going to be Beethoven anyways. Like,
Yes,
they were
right.
much more likely to be pickpockets than Beethoven. So, like, maybe we could do without.
Pickpockets. Is this? I live in Victorian Austria, and
Yeah. I'm a
I can either
confidence
become a
trickster.
court musician and composer or a pickpocket.
Yeah.
This is like Dickinsonian. Oh goodness! Now that we've ingratiated ourselves to the right, I think we should probably kick off the
Yeah.
episode. Cue the music. You are listening to Robert and Kalyn Get Rich. I'm not even going to throw in there like a Robert
I
and
know,
Kalyn
yeah.
abort fetuses or whatever.
Yep.
I would never say something like that.
Argue for abortion.
Today is June 15th, 2025. It is Father's Day
Happy
in the United
Father's
States.
Day.
Yeah. Our friend from Bangladesh even sent a happy Father's Day wishes. So
Aw, that's
said
nice.
something very lovely. Today is episode 58. I'm Robert Kimmel, your host. This is your other host, Kalyn Kimmel. Before we get too deep into the podcast, won't you like and subscribe and leave us a message and give us 5 stars and give us a thumbs up. Oh, that's liking. I forgot. Anyway,
Okay.
and send us an
Yeah,
email,
do
Robert
all
and
the things.
Kalyn. Do
All-
all the things. Just keep clicking on stuff.
Do you love this? Is this your number one podcast? Do you want to
Yeah.
send it to all of your contacts? Do you
Absolutely.
also want to tell them how much you love? Yeah.
This moment, I'm going to send it to 3,037 people. They're going to really want to hear this, Kalyn.
What I'm hearing is that I need to listen to this. Like,
Yes.
Since you sent it 50 times.
Yeah, that's what happened. When you get spam, you're like, forget it. When you get a second spam, you're like,
Yeah, I'm
forget
like,
it.
wait a minute.
I've gotten this
Yeah.
message 50 times. It must be
Right.
important.
Yeah, it's got all these emojis and it's like enhance your erection and I'm like,
Maybe
should
I
look
should
into
do that.
this. Like this seems legit.
Maybe this
man.
really is the IRS calling me to.
At the convenience store, I'm friends with the little cashier girl. It's like 21 or whatever, and she
Sure.
was like, "Man, so this person is saying that if I give them $10, that they'll be able to give me $1,000. That's not real, right?" And I was like, "Dude, no."
Yeah.
What? She was like, "Yeah, I guess I shouldn't do it."
One time I walked into one of the classrooms at Sweet Kittles and the teacher was in a panic because
the Nigerian prince said,
no, damn, I cannot think. Amazon is getting these emails that are Amazon account, something.
Yeah.
It was going to,
Right.
and just a panic. And I'm like, first of all, That is a phishing scam. Second of all, you are not supposed to be on your phone in the classroom.
Yeah, right.
But we're now it's the heart of COVID, so we're so desperate for a teacher.
Yeah, we're like,
I'm not going to have you written up or anything for this.
Don't do it again, or I might have you written up.
Because this was an industry where you have to write people up, you know?
Yeah.
Here's the thing about people earning $15 an hour. They only deserve $15. They're $15 an hour people. Anytime you're like, you need to pay people more, you need to pay your teachers and whatever more, or the people who work at these retirement homes or where, it's like, well, we'll pay more, but we're not paying them more. It's going to be somebody else, you know?
Right, yeah. There's some people that just aren't, like, we're not at a level that we are earning. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're doing a job that you are interchangeable with almost any other adult on Earth. Not childcare people necessarily.
Not too far from that, yes. Yeah, it's the job that most women think they can handle. And then you get into it, and there's all these rules or state laws and stuff. If you can't manage to remember all that, then this is going to be rough, you know? And it's hard taking care of 14 toddlers at once, even when there's a co-teacher.
Like, that's so my nightmare. It's so my nightmare. Like, the hardest day of work I ever did for sure was substitute teaching bilingual kindergarten. This implies that some of these kids don't really speak English, and they didn't. I'd have a little translator with me all the time.
Yeah, and you're like, hey!
I'm like, Alejandra. Okay, Jose, could you tell Alejandra that she can't, like, you know...
This was before Google Translate.
I didn't have my phone around. I'd, like, definitely lose it, or one of them would find it and something. Kindergarten, they stay with you all day. Like, you're just in the room with all these fucking kids. Like, they left for that half hour, and I literally laid on the floor.
The language thing is something that Andre has to deal with at the Free Store. A lot of the people at the Free Store are from Africa and speak Swahili. And so then you go on Google Translate, you translate English into Swahili. Well, they can't read Swahili.
It has the thing they'll speak it, though.
Sort of, kind of speak it out. And you're like trying to be like, all right, you got to check in, and it's one set of trousers per family, but you can have one pair of pants for each child. You know, it's just like, forget it. Come down here, let's go.
Just take whatever you want.
You hold up the fingers, two, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you get 2 bars of soap, 2. Or like, here's this table of things, 2, pick 2.
Right, 2. No. Yeah.
No. Yeah,
like,
let's start a fight. And you're like...
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like, it's a free store. Just take it. Just be on your way. Like, if we can't, like, communicate easily, I'm like, just go.
So one of the guys was taking lessons, learning Swahili, and...
Wow.
It's like, you, sir, are a modern-day saint. You're already volunteering hours of your time every week. Right, hours and hours. And then you're going to go the next mile.
I guess you really care. Or you're into, like, dark chicks, but just kidding.
Are you into, like, dark people who don't bathe pretty smelly?
Yeah, you're like, I want to find me a lady.
I like the chocolate.
And right.
Just because he's married doesn't mean he doesn't like a little chocolate on the side.
Like a little action on the side. Like,
And when those women, like, are carrying their babies wrapped in a cloth on their back,
you're like, dang, girl.
You got it going on.
You ready for another baby? Because I'm coming. Daddy's
You're holding
coming.
A garbage bag of stuff you collected and you got at the Free Store wearing somebody else's discarded remnants.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm getting hot over here.
Come here, mamacita, or whatever you would say in Swahili.
No, it's not mamacita.
Yeah.
So it's either that guy's got the hots, or he's a Christian.
I mean, that's like an uber dedicated to your game. If you're like, I'm here for the poontang, like, I'm gonna learn Swahili. Like, though
Is this the Free Store? Is this where the Swahili chicks hang out?
Yeah. I like girls who don't speak my language or a language I can even kind of understand. And they're poor. Yeah.
Smelly. All I hear about is how they're smelly.
You're not smelly, you're just ripe.
Ripe, I think is
I want a girl who can be dependent on me immediately or whatever. She feels like I'm a fucking sugar daddy when I make $20,000 a year.
I gotta up my immigrant game here.
Yeah. I will say, back in the day, I don't know how I got a hacked version of Rosetta Stone, but the language that I most wanted to learn was Welsh. at first
Okay.
because I wanted to speak to this band. I've seen them so many times. I've
They
met
don't
them a
speak
bunch
English.
of times. No, they do. Yeah,
But you wanted
they
to speak to him in Welsh. I get
But I
it.
thought, like, how charming is this going to be when I meet my future husband, who I happen to have identified as the lead guitarist in the band or
Yeah.
whatever. Bomf is going to be so impressed with me.
That I can string together a
I'll
sentence
be
in
like,
Welsh.
yeah, I'm like, how are you? Served in Welsh.
Can I buy some cheese?
Esperiag.
The bookstore has books, and the woman is tall.
Yeah.
And Bob will be like, "Oh
Right.
my
Yeah.
God, this one, an American."
This mentality, though, it stuck with me because then I switched over and I was learning Dutch because I was like,
Yeah.
the Dutch soccer boys are super good looking. So when I go to the Netherlands, I'll be like,
Hello.
Hoeveel sleutels zijn er?
Are
Which
there
means
any
how many
apples?
Keys, how many keys are there? Like, do you have blue plates or red plates? That's what you
The
learn
L
when you
goes
do
in the
it.
bowl.
Like,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
They'll be like, oh. And the problem is, especially with the Dutch, the Europeans, they speak English so well. You're fumbling through
Yeah.
your first sentence and they're
Yeah.
just cut you off. Let's talk in
I mean,
English.
Well, yeah, exactly. I like lived there for 5 weeks or whatever, and I was so
Yeah.
excited. I'm like, I'm gonna talk in Dutch to people.
Yeah.
On multiple occasions, I'd be like, I have recently been coming from this other place, blah blah blah, whatever, and they're like, you know, this is fun and all, but I actually speak English, and I'm like, I'm trying, and they're like, yeah, but it's terrible.
They're like, there is not
Like,
one person in Holland that doesn't speak English better than you do.
Apparently, in the very provincial part, there are some only
wow.
Dutch speakers, but they're the ones who are like wearing those shoes, like the clogs, and like with their windmill making. Anyway.
Yeah. Those hats, the girls have those hats that go like
Yeah,
this.
yep. Yeah, they're in that outfit, that whole getup, like,
Yeah.
and they only speak Dutch. It does make sense that like Europeans can speak other languages way better than us. Just
Yes.
like geographic.
Yeah, like 50 miles away, you got to know a different language or you can't get
Yeah.
by. So,
Yeah, like you guys have been doing this for ages. Like our nearest neighbor, it's closer to me than you, but like it's still a 10-hour drive to Mexico from here.
Yeah.
You know, like
I
Or
find it
maybe more.
amazing that the languages didn't converge more. It's so
mean,
much
it's-
more efficient to speak one single language than
Yeah.
have translate.
yeah, let's speak the same language. We're
Well-
like, speak English.
It's when the Americans came along and were like, hey, listen, nothing will destroy your culture like commerce, so let's do that.
Right. Yeah.
Now we eat Big Macs, but they only cost
Yes.
$1.99. And TVs, back at the
Yeah.
start of our careers,
Oh.
the good TVs were 5 digits.
Oh my god. Yeah, the amount men would spend on TVs, I still find it astonishing, like how much people will spend on a TV because I bought.
I don't even know how
literally
you
one-
find a TV that's cost more than or $2 to maybe $5,000, maybe.
Right.
That would be
Yeah,
one
but
hell
like-
of a TV at $5,000.
I've only spent $200 on a TV ever in my life. Like I bought one. Full stop. Like one was included when I purchased my loft. I was like, cool. I get to have your fucking shitty flat screen that's in the bathroom. Thanks. That's gonna close the deal. But as someone who was like, I will lug this fucking 800-pound box TV from one apartment to the next, because I did for a while. Like
Cathode
I was
ray
like,
tube goes out.
yeah, I had it too long. It was
It's like fading on the corner, the colors, like
Yeah.
sunburned.
And I'm like, it's okay. I've never actually had cable TV. I've had apartments in my adult life that didn't have TVs in them. Many of them.
I think
But
I could live without a TV.
if-
Andre's
Yeah.
out of town, the TV doesn't come on, but
yeah.
anyway.
My life is better. Less time I'm near my TV. And probably my phone too. Speaking of, I signed up to go to meditation camp.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the month.
Well, we'll just have to schedule around it because the show must go on, Kalyn.
Yeah,
Our
I mean-
17 listeners are going to be
like, yeah,
heartbroken.
Yeah, I think that I'm actually allowed to have stuff for this. Like,
I
they
don't
said
think that you sitting in the corner editing up is
be doing
exactly
that.
what they have in mind, but
I mean,
yeah.
why would they have Wi-Fi? You're not allowed to have a book or a piece of paper. Like,
You're looking around.
Yeah.
What are these bozos doing?
Yeah.
Sure is nice, quiet place
Like-
to work. I'll tell you that.
yeah, man. Days are long though. You realize how, like, man, without any of the entertainment things.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you need things to just kill hours, but
Yeah. You don't, though. You could just live your life.
You could, and we used to.
Yeah, meditation camp, I like get a little connected with that again. I'll just be in the moment.
At one point this week, I just had to cut off the editing because despite me blocking the day to do editing.
Right. Well, you are making Andrea work.
Yes, I made her do this business, so it turnabout is fair play. Exactly. It all turned out fine. It's an episode. We got an episode out, despite all odds. So what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So next time I get one of these, I get a text. It's like, oh my god, I'm feeling crap. Take a shower and go to Denny's. Okay, get you some eggs over my hammy.
Yeah.
Get you a chocolate chip pancake with the smiley face, okay?
And, I don't know.
I was queuing off of last week when you're like, well, was ignoring you, and I was, which is the best thing to do. I was like, okay, I'll ignore her more or less, but then I wanted to be supportive.
Yeah. Thinks that's the best thing, but like that's not the best thing. That's actually the worst thing to do. Like what helped me this week ultimately is Adam showed up in my house and couldn't figure out how to get in, so he like literally ripped my back fence off the hinges.
Yeah.
Like still couldn't get in.
Damaging your property is the way to really get you out of a slump. Well, like, he's not good at like getting doors open and
he's
stuff.
Like,
and he's a big guy.
Right, yeah, he's 6'3". I mean, you know,
big and my meat hook hands, like, oh,
yeah,
get in the game.
Get to Kalyn.
Somehow he's like, I got it.
He is a big guy. He's 6'3".
Yeah.
And so is his husband. I'm like, I go over there and I'm 5'3", and I'm like,
I know. How come you guys don't breed? You're tall. You're leaving it up to the short
we're both
people.
Boys.
Yeah. Well, sometimes boys want.
Yeah. I offered up my uterus.
Oh.
I was like, I could carry y'all's baby. And I was like, actually, I super don't want to do that. Like, anyways, I was like actually really touched. I was like, oh, you were worried enough about me that you ripped my fence off its hinges. It's nice.
How romantic.
Yeah.
Yes, not nuts.
He was in my supper club that I made. And so he texted Claire, also in supper club. He's like, my next call was to January. I'm like, it's funny. When Kalyn's down, convene the supper club members. Like,
the supper club signal goes out.
Yeah.
And
right. Exactly.
Supper club calls.
Yeah.
I must.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a projector, like the bat sign, but it's like a lasagna, like that we put up on the sky. You know? Like.
It says bon appetit.
Yeah.
Someone's in trouble.
Yeah.
Convene the supper club.
Yeah, no. I'm like eating crackers in bed, and then like, why are there so many crumbs in here? I'm so tired.
It just gets worse and worse. It just spirals. You know?
Everything is wrong. How can anything go right for me?
And the lights are off
in bed, and then like not go ever. This is just the final straw. Fuck it, I'm out of this world. I gotta fix my attitude though, because if I set something down and it knocks over, so I don't quite make the table, I'm not paying enough attention, I'll be like, God damn it, can't even go right. And I'm like this isn't really
stuff like that makes me crazy though, so I can relate.
What the hell? God damn it, what's wrong with me? No wonder I don't have a job. Then why do I even exist? It just spirals. Like,
I get it. Yeah.
And I'm like, gotta fix that.
I don't go that far, but I'm like, God damn it, why did I spill it? Of course I spilled this. Like, what a frustration. I wanted to share a story with you. You may have heard about this, but this California senator went to a talk by our girl, Kristi Noem. I, of course, follow everything Kristi Noem does because she's a honey.
Right.
And he got up and asked questions, and so they grabbed him and dragged him out. They got him on the floor, and they cuffed him, not knowing, of course, that he is a U.S. senator. So this is a U.S. senator lying on the floor here.
Like, no, ostensibly, it shouldn't matter. This seems like way inappropriate thing to do to anyone who's like, hey, I have a question. Get him on the ground.
Yeah.
You know?
And I will confess, I haven't watched the videos to see how belligerent or whatever he was or what the scenario was. He's Alex Padilla, so he's of Hispanic origins of some sort, I'm sure. But my reaction to this picture was, I think we have that carpet at the office. So.
I've seen that carpet, but that's funny that that's the first thing you notice.
I'm not a...
You're like, this story isn't like hitting home really, but wait a minute, that carpet, like, this does spark my interest now. That's funny.
Now we got these riots in LA. Well, there's sort of kind of riots at the Home Depot in LA, and we're sending the Marines. So
Is it about the same thing, or is it about yesterday's?
I think these are related.
the-
I believe Kristi Noem was there to talk about how we're going to solve all them issues in L.A. And the senator was like, I got questions. And they're like,
Yeah.
get that man
They're like,
out of here.
Get him on the ground. Get him out of here.
This
Yeah,
is not a democracy. This is, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yesterday there were all these No Kings riots or whatever.
Oh, right.
Like,
I didn't hear any updates on that. I got to listen in.
I guess they were all peaceful, and at least in Houston. There were like 12 different locations in Houston and surrounding areas that were having something.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, man, I hate peaceful protests. I'm against peaceful protesting. Like, be violent or be nothing. I find.
Can we get a Molotov cocktail? There's no fire.
Like,
there's no.
Yeah.
Set off some Black Cat fireworks or something.
Right. Or bring a gun, whatever. Get it going. Let's show people how much you care. I don't know. It always seems to be like shut down like a freeway or whatever. And I'm like, I just need to like go to the post office. Yeah.
I'm just trying to mail a package. Guys, you should be stealing stuff. Why are you keeping me from mailing a package?
Yeah, what the hell? Nobody's even listening. Nobody cares. No, this isn't impacting anybody. On the other side, that's like, well, we should have King Trump.
Yeah, the other side's like, King Trump, King Trump.
Yeah, we left. Yeah, the maggots.
Is that what they call MAGA people as maggots?
Well, I've heard that they can be called that, and I am all for it. I love it. But my nearest grocery store is literally half a mile max down my street. And I was going over there, and the last time, this is around the ICE riots, about whatever, Hispanic folks were up in arms. I drove my car over there and then turned around and came back, did not go in the store. I was gone for over 2 hours. And
you should have gone in the store. Why didn't you go in the store?
Because there was no parking, because everybody had parked there, and on every street surrounding the area to walk over to the freeway to be like, we should allow immigration or whatever. I don't even know what they were saying. I was just like, I don't care. Now I really want you guys deported.
Do you understand? I don't have air conditioning. And
yeah, I'm like considering just abandoning the car in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
Like, it would be faster for me to walk. I will not do that to the other drivers. I can't further inconvenience those guys who are also just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. Because people are like, let illegals in. Doesn't this feel just imminently solvable? Why don't we come up with some process? I got an idea. We're going to come up with a process where people can immigrate, but it's legal, okay? Hear me out.
Okay.
And you fill out some forms, and maybe we determine how many we're going to let in. They're taking our good American jobs. I want to work down at the slaughterhouse cutting up chickens, and I want to pick lettuce.
Right. Why aren't they happy just living in impoverished
cartel-infested nations in South America?
Yeah.
They got a lovely little adventure trip getting up here. They got to ride on the roof of a train and hike a canyon.
Maybe have to pay some, what do they call
jackal or something, right?
Yeah.
A mule?
To like show. No, you're right. I was thinking mule, but then I was drunk, so.
No, it's not a mule.
I can't think of it. But apparently sometimes those folks charge so much that you're like in indentured servitude kind of situations if it actually works.
And perfectly happy to abandon you if it doesn't work out, by the way.
Oh, yeah. They're like, yeah, we might also get arrested, and then that's that.
Or we'll abandon you in the desert because we're running out of water and ice is closed down.
I watch this contraband show, and sometimes they have people as the contraband, and they'll have a regular pickup truck and somehow create in space underneath or whatever where they would like stuff drugs, but have like number of people.
Yeah.
It like a clown car situation where they like have to take off a side panel and there's like 8 people in the wheel well. Jesus, this is a rough go.
Yeah, desperation, man. You got to be desperate.
Yeah, think about the people from, was it Haiti that would come across on rafts, or like Cuban
Haiti
refugees?
And Cuba,
like,
depending on which time. And
we're crossing our fingers with this 100 miles across like ocean.
Yeah.
In this
on a door.
Right. There's 27 of us in this thing.
An inflatable kayak and a piece of fencing.
And a prayer. Like, please let it not rain or whatever. I don't even know how we're steering, really.
Each of us packed a bologna sandwich, and
Right, yeah. If anybody gets seasick, then we're just pushing them over. The sharks can have them. Yeah. They should just be fine with being wherever it was that they're willing to risk life, limb, and their prosperity.
Well, I don't think you can just throw open the gates either. There's probably got to be some kind of process.
Sure. Oh, I'm not saying we should throw open the gates, but is this really our biggest issue also? Are they really like taxing the system so hard? I mean, some are criminals, sure, but like some American citizens are also criminals.
Bottom line, I think most economists say that they're actually contributing to the economy. More immigrants came in, more illegal immigrants came in under Biden than like ever before.
Right.
And I don't know if you're close proximity than I am to this, but I think the economy's just bubbled along just fine, and I don't think there's a bunch of overtaxed institutions, like you said.
Yeah, okay. If we want to start paying like $200 a week to have the yard mowed, then we can get above board with. We're not just leaving out $20 under the mat for Jose and his team who show up and do or whatever. Like, like that's what everybody does. But if we want to not do that and have people like be incorporated and pay their taxes, whatever, like. Yep. To the guy who has the blower. Whatever. I don't know.
Scrimped and saved. Bottoms of a Toro gas blower.
Yeah. We got to make sure that we got health coverage baked into the livable wages for these guys.
You're letting the Democrats be in charge of this lawn care outfit. We got to give them all overtime, and they're going to be on the Bureau of Workmen's Comp. And then, like, gee, Christ almighty. All of a sudden, it costs $5,000 to mow your lawn.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Also, taco trucks are the shit. I don't know how many of those are above deck.
And like cheap food and cheap stuff. We love cheap stuff and lots of it.
Right. Yeah. When I need movers, it is easy to just go by to Home Depot and be like, dos por cuatro horas. Like, I don't know.
Well, you don't have any cats for them to eat. So
that's true.
They're eating the cats.
And the dogs.
You would reference that song earlier. It's an old comedy trick to call back to.
Yeah. Ooh.
See what I did there?
Sorry.
Speaking of calling back, let's take a look at the portfolio. Yeah.
Ooh. I've been spending some time in my own portfolio recently.
Oh, how's that been going for you?
But not great, because I'm like, okay, let's sell something. Should we sell the thing that's not made any money but hasn't lost money? Like, whatever. And I'm like, maybe it will. Or should I sell something that has made money? And I'm like, but we could make more.
All right.
What if it's lost money? Well, then I need time to get back. I don't know.
I don't want to sell a loser. You don't want to give up, I'm not a quitter.
Right. Yeah.
So we're continuing to kill it. The Get Rich portfolio, 15% up compared to 6% for the S&P 500 since inception of our index here. You got to give Justin credit here. 7% versus the same time period in the S&P, 3.5%. So he's doubled up the S&P since the tariffs. He's doing all right. He's not doing get rich good, but because we're 3 times the S&P.
I mean, he's not a financial genius like us. But
that's true. Exactly right.
Geniuses.
The guest portfolio is above water. Not quite caught up to the S&P, but I wonder. Let's see if.
And look at how good we are on our past portfolio.
I know. We don't
want these dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multi Homes is down 30%.
Dang. I don't even remember what they do or anything. They build homes, is that right?
That's right. I can't falter logic too much because at the time it was pretty solid, but it's just taking an absolute beating.
I just wonder if they're competitors.
They're in the same boat. I'm pretty sure all the stocks. Justin, he can pick them, man. He's Disney since he picked it up for, or I guess he encouraged.
He did not pick. Kelly picked Disney.
And he picked F5, which is doing amazing. Right. Andrea picked Pulte Homes, which is down 30%, Starbucks, which is down 50%, and encouraged Janice to short Nordstrom, which it looks like it is up, so they've lost money. Lisette wanted a grocery store, but not that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, we'll do Kroger because I invest in Kroger. But yeah, happy to see them up. Yeah.
Beggars can't be choosers when you're.
Which was like that was Giacomo's pick, right?
Yeah. Call him what I want when he's the ex-boyfriend. He's gone.
Yeah. He was a nice enough kid, though.
Yeah. And then I didn't even bother looking for stock from Coach Josh's Australian barbell company.
Right. Yeah, that was like private, I'm sure.
We could also look at ticker symbol S and continue to move that along.
Let's do that. I'm going to guess what it is because I don't know. Like, is it Sony?
No. You will never in a million years guess it. It's nothing famous. It stands for Sentinel-1.
We already own this.
We do not own S. I'm going over to check. We've introduced the name. Yeah, back when we did the letter game and all this.
I know them well. Yeah.
You know Sentinel-1 well?
No. Yeah, because they're to prevent hacking and stuff.
Cybersecurity, for sure. Yeah, no, they're not in the portfolio.
Exactly.
They're not in the portfolio, at least not yet. But maybe they're in your
really
personal portfolio. I don't know.
I think I added them that same week when I was like looking. So yeah, if there's one thing that I think is actually scary terrorism-wise, it's like cyber stuff. Because maybe you'll remember we talked about the water maintenance people. Like,
yep, we sure did.
Like, that job.
Yeah. We did a skit around the guys, the old in their overalls.
Yeah, the two plumbers who
we
are
need some cybersecurity around here, Harold, you know?
These rural areas, it's easy to hack in and like adjust the chemicals that make our water safe and make it like toxic, like poisonous. Right. I think about, man, if all of a sudden the city of Houston's water was, maybe it won't kill you if you touch it to your skin, but you can't drink it. Yeah. Like, we'd be in really bad shape really fast.
Yes, we would. I have an investment in a cybersecurity ETF, and it's done great for me. So, I don't know if it'll continue doing great. I don't know. Maybe I should sell some.
Has not done so great for me.
No, I was gonna show you. I was gonna show you the chart to start. So this past week, it's lost 6%, and you're only down 5%.
25.
Oh, okay. That sounds more like it. It's the 5-year chart, which is also the all-time chart. They are down 62.5% all-time. This is a Kalyn chart right here. That's a classic Kalyn chart.
I mean, I'm invested in them, so I'm like, add them to the portfolio. It can only go up.
It can only go up.
I just don't know why they're like not doing.
Well, I'll tell you why. So it's a company worth $6 billion. They sell it 6 times revenue, which isn't crazy. They sell it a little under 4 times book value, which isn't crazy. You'll notice they don't have a PE ratio, and that's because they don't make money. They lose money. You go to the financials. Yeah. The operating income has been negative every year for as far back as these go, maybe ever. So they've had to, you can see they've had to increase the share count significantly over the course of the past 5 years, in part to raise money to keep funding this thing, I think.
How does a company that just loses money year after year after year not go bankrupt? How are they able to stay in business?
They have to keep raising money. Usually, they can borrow it, but they also can just sell more shares. So that's basically what they've done, although it hasn't been too crazy over the past couple of years, And that's why they want a nice high valuation all the time, obviously to support their stockholders, but also to make it, the higher the valuation, the fewer shares they have to sell to raise the money they need. And look at this. They've missed earnings, missed. But you're in good company. The analysts are like, buy, strong buy.
Like, I don't know. It's definitely an industry that I feel like it's a compelling argument why this should exist, or why companies, governments, etc. should pay for these services, Yeah. But like, why one does better than another, I don't know. Sentinel-1, number 1.
This guy this is a Motley Fool article, and this guy, or Kethin? You think that's a man? Anyway. Keithan. That sounds like a man's name. Besides, women don't write about cybersecurity. Ha.
Yeah, we don't know about the money stuff. Unless you're talking about spending it. Unless you're going shopping.
So it's one of his 2 top cybersecurity stocks. I like how the third bullet is like, here's 10 stocks we like better than Sentinel-1, but...
That's like not a real thing, though. That's
I know.
Hey, subscribe to
Clickbait.
Motley.
You're so right.
Thanks.
Cybersecurity doesn't take a break. I mean, look at this guy trying to get in. That's why you need Sentinel-1 right there, that guy.
Man. Yeah.
So they offer AI-first endpoint protection software.
Yeah.
They're just one competitor, but its most notable peer is CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike, he's been a bull. They offer a similar product, much higher market share. This is that value to sales ratio we were talking about, price to sales. So they're down here. So they're 6 times revenue. CrowdStrike is 28 times revenue. So it's cheap for a software stock. Part of the reason they're not making money is they keep reinvesting in the company. So their revenue grew 20%.
So they are making money. They're just
Well, they're making revenue, but they lose money. Yeah.
Right.
So
Well,
here's the profit
start
margin.
positive and
Their
then you
profit
start
margin is
with-
minus 49%. So for every dollar of revenue, they lose 49 cents. Whereas CrowdStrike only loses 4 cents. So that's part of the difference in the valuation. But
Yeah.
anyway,
But they still
this
lose
guy's a
money,
fan.
though. Yeah. I probably found them from Motley Fool when I was like doing research to talk about that whole thing. Like,
That's a smarter way than I found them, which
mean-
is alphabetical order. So next in the
well, like you remember when that pipeline got shut down? That was a hacker from the oil, like North Carolina and the Eastern Seaboard was all fucked for gasoline and stuff. And Dad was like, "Man, we don't know how to turn that thing back off. Like we don't know how to do this. Like
Even
it's
Dad
never
is-
happened. It's literally like we built it and then turned it on and we're like, cool, leave it forever. Like,
don't touch this. Everybody,
yeah,
you see that door?
No,
Do not
they
open that
literally
door.
didn't have. Yeah, they literally didn't have a plan. It's like nobody touched the red button. If you touch the red button, then we don't have any fucking clue how this party going again. Like,
Hey,
whatever.
Chief, I got a question. If we're not supposed to touch the red button ever, under no circumstance, why is there a red button?
Yeah, and why? Yeah, why is there some easy ability online for us to turn this thing off? Like,
Well,
I mean, I guess it's not easy. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
maybe they weren't so easy.
I don't
but
understand hacking.
these
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
don't know. We should call this the What Kalyn Doesn't Know podcast because
Oh my
first
God.
electricity.
Right. No, like, remember when we talked about like how computers work? Like, you know,
No.
like get a piece of plastic, like screw a little, put that in something else.
Yep.
You're in business.
Yep.
Like, so like how one computer talks to another computer without like
Yeah.
both people. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
understand the internet either. So
I'm the same with
like,
pipeline. I'm like, well, to get the stuff to go down, don't you have the pipeline have to be like downhill and then like, so wouldn't that the end of the pipeline in Alberta have to be like
Yeah.
5 miles high and you pour the
Right.
oil in down there and it dribbles all the way down to South Carolina or wherever the hell. Like,
Right, yeah. It's like, don't we just have like an aqueduct system that just like carries water down? Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like the equivalent of like the ohm. You know, it's like the push or well, that's not the ohms. Though.
No.
That's the
the push
how
is
the
the
pipeline
volts. The
flows.
volts.
right.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I guess you push with something, but like also, I mean, you build something and you turn it on without where like no one knows how to like we can turn it off if we must, but we have no idea what to do after that. I'm like, how is that a thing? Like, it's just like such a
The
crazy
project
problem,
ran
but,
out
like,
of funding. They're like, we'll get to that
I mean,
later.
it's been going for like 80 years. Like, at one point, you guys should figure this out. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
Somebody-
the oldest pipeline in America.
Guys,
like, or something.
let's do some disaster planning here, you know? What if the
Yeah,
damn pipeline gets
just a smidge.
hit by a hurricane or a...
Right.
Terrorist
yeah.
act?
Like, I mean, a meteor fucking falls on part of it or whatever. Like,
It's a
what
long
are we gonna
pipeline.
do?
You never know what could happen, you know?
I mean, yeah, you never do know.
All right, so I'm hearing buy
I think-
Sentinel-1. Is that the call? Should we buy some?
I mean, I bought it, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't
You've
know.
done
that it's been a
really
great
well
dis-
with that one.
I'm like, so far down 25%, but
We could lose even
I
more
do have
money
faith
than
in them
that.
because, like, so with that pipeline, that hackers like got ransom. Basically, they got multiple millions of dollars
Yep.
via cryptocurrency and shit, and so like the company was just kind of fucked. So I feel shouldn't all companies be investing in like maybe Statement Nails is safe. For now. No,
Terrorists
so they'll be
coming are
I
like-
can't get an appointment. I'm gonna freaking get an appointment. Like, you what do you mean that like Vanessa is not available? Like, she will
Hold
be
us hostage. All right, Kalyn, so we're
So-
going to invest and let's do it. I'm on board. I'm fine with it.
Sentinel. Okay,
Yeah. All
let's
right.
do it.
Cool. All right. Cool. Well, with that, Kalyn, I think we should wrap it up. Let's cue the music.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Robin and Kalyn share their expertise on
All right.
cybersecurity podcast. This has been June 15th, 2028. I don't know. I just keep saying, like, this is an intro part 2, you know? So,
Yeah.
Not funny. Not funny.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's all right.
Tell the good
So,
people
yay
what to
all
do,
the
Kalyn.
dads. Yeah, so like, subscribe. If you are a dad, then pat yourself on the back and spend an extra half hour on the John or whatever
John reading your Garfield comics.
I don't know. I mean, that's what our dad likes to do, besides like tell me about stuff he's already told me about. But
if you're not a dad, send it to a dad. Send us to every dad you know.
Yeah.
And make sure
your
you
dad
like it.
needs to hear this. Like, this is the best gift you could give on Father's Day, I think, or any other day. But
100% agree.
yeah, it's never too
All
late.
right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review. Make sure you send us an email.
Send us an email or all that stuff. Yeah.
Robin and Kalyn Get Rich at gmail.com. Just one thing you should not do, Kalyn.
Well, 2 things really.
Okay.
Take this as financial or investment advice, or be a not clever troll.
All right. If you're going to write a criticism, at least make it funny. All right. With that, Kalyn, I think we should say bye-bye.
All right. Bye.